Hello, everyone, and welcome back to English Learning Podcast. I'm your host, Emma, and I'm truly glad you're here with me today, because if you're listening right now, it means something deep inside you wants to grow, to improve, to finally make English a natural part of your life. And that is powerful. Maybe you've tried many methods before: long grammar lessons, endless word lists, hours of studying with no real result. And maybe sometimes you felt tired, even frustrated, wondering why is this so hard? But today, we're going to change that story. Today, we're talking about daily English habits that actually work. Habits that are simple, realistic, and most importantly, effective. Because the truth is, success in English does not come from one giant step. It comes from small, daily steps repeated again and again until they become natural, like breathing, like walking, automatic. And if you stay with me until the end of this episode, I promise you will leave with practical tools, habits you can start using immediately so that English finally feels easy, natural, and even enjoyable. So grab your tea, your coffee, or maybe just sit back and relax. Let's begin this journey together. And remember, if this podcast gives you value, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share it with your friends, because learning together makes the journey even more meaningful. Let's start with something simple yet life-changing: consistency. Think about it. You don't learn English by studying for 5 hours once a week. No, you learn it by showing up every single day, even if it's just for 15 minutes. That's the secret many learners miss. Imagine planting a seed. If you give it a huge bucket of water only once a month, the plant won't survive. But if you give it just a little water every single day, it grows. It becomes stronger, and eventually it blooms. Your English is the same. It doesn't need perfection. It needs presence. Daily presence. Now, here's the beautiful part. When you practice every day, even for a short time, your brain begins to adapt. Your ears recognize sounds more easily. Your tongue moves more smoothly. And suddenly, English feels less like a foreign subject and more like a natural rhythm in your life. And I know what you might be thinking, but I don't have time. I'm too busy. Here's the truth. You don't need hours. You just need a few minutes of focused, intentional practice. Even listening to this podcast on your way to work, while cooking, or before going to bed counts. Consistency builds momentum. Momentum builds confidence. And confidence transforms everything. So if you're listening right now and nodding your head, I want you to promise yourself from today, no matter how busy you are, you will give yourself at least a few minutes of English every single day. And if this message resonates with you, share it with someone who also dreams of improving their English. Because sometimes one simple reminder can change another person's journey. 2. Close your eyes for a moment. Imagine waking up in the morning, making your favorite drink, and instead of scrolling through endless social media, you press play on something in English. A podcast, a short story, even just a song. This is where listening becomes powerful. Because listening is not just about hearing words, it's about training your brain to recognize patterns, rhythms, and sounds. And the more often you hear them, the less strange they feel. Think about how a baby learns their first language. They don't read grammar books. They don't memorize word lists. They simply listen over and over again. And slowly, without even realizing, they begin to understand. Now, imagine if you gave yourself the same gift. Just 10 or 15 minutes of active listening every day. Not background noise, not while distracted, but really listening, focusing. I once had a learner who told me, whenever I listened to English, it felt like a storm of sounds. Too fast, too confusing. But after making listening a daily habit, something changed. She told me, one day I suddenly realized I was following the conversation without translating in my head. That moment felt like magic. And here's the truth. That magic is not luck. It's the result of daily listening step by step, day by day. So if you're serious about improving, I encourage you make listening part of your routine. Replace 5 minutes of scrolling with 5 minutes of English. Swap one episode of your favorite show with an English podcast. Let the language surround you little by little, every single day. And if this message inspires you, don't just keep it to yourself. Share this episode with a friend who also wants to grow. Together, you can build a habit that transforms your English journey forever. Let's talk about one of the most powerful, yet most feared habits in English learning: speaking. Friendly tone. I know. For many learners, the very thought of speaking English out loud brings nervous feelings. The fear of making mistakes, the fear of being judged. But let me share a secret with you. Mistakes are not failures. They are proof that you are learning. Think about it. No one learns to play the piano by silently reading music books. They sit, they play, they make countless mistakes. And little by little, their hands remember the keys. Their ears recognize the notes. Their confidence grows. It is the same with English speaking. You cannot expect fluency if you only study silently. Your mouth, your tongue, your lips, they need practice. They need movement. They need sound. Start small. Speak 1 or 2 sentences to yourself in the mirror. Describe what you see around you. Repeat after a podcast or a YouTube video. And here's a powerful technique: shadowing. Listen to a short clip, pause, and repeat it exactly the way you heard it. Intonation, rhythm, even emotion. It feels strange at first, but it's like training your muscles for a new sport. I remember one learner telling me, I practice speaking to myself every night. At first it felt silly, but one day I found myself speaking to a stranger in English, and the words came naturally without fear. That transformation didn't come from magic. It came from a daily habit. And here's where the real growth begins. When you speak every day, even for 5 minutes, you rewire your brain. You stop translating. You start thinking. You begin to sound more natural, more confident, more alive in the language. So I invite you, yes, you listening right now, make speaking a non-negotiable part of your day. Don't wait for the right time. Don't wait until you feel ready, because the truth is, readiness comes after action. Take that first step today. And if this idea excites you, do me a favor. Hit the like button, subscribe for more daily inspiration, and share this podcast with a friend who needs courage to start speaking. Together, you can motivate each other to grow one word at a time. Reading is like opening a door to new worlds, new ideas, and new possibilities in English. When you read every single day, even for just 10 minutes, you are not just learning words. You are absorbing rhythm, grammar, and culture without even realizing it. Think back to when you were a child. You probably didn't study your first language the way you study English now. Instead, you listened to stories. You read picture books. You followed characters on adventures. And slowly, your brain began to connect sounds with meaning, words with feelings. The same magic happens when you read in English. It could be a short article online, a page from a book, or even the subtitles of your favorite show. Each sentence you read is like a drop of water filling a bucket. Day by day, those drops become a full river of knowledge flowing inside you. But here's the key. Don't force yourself to read boring, heavy texts. Choose content you love. If you enjoy mystery, read mysteries. If you enjoy business, read articles about business. If you love romance or fantasy, dive into those stories. Because when you enjoy the topic, your brain learns faster and the habit becomes natural. And let me tell you something powerful. Reading out loud can double your progress. When you read silently, your eyes learn. But when you read out loud, your mouth, your voice, your ears, all of them learned together. It's like combining three superpowers in one simple habit. Imagine this. Every morning, before checking your phone, you open a short English text and read it aloud. Your day begins with focus, energy, and growth. Or before bed, instead of scrolling, you spend 5 minutes with an English story. So here's my invitation. Grab an English book, a blog, or even your favorite podcast transcript after this episode and read. Let the words enter your mind. Let your voice bring them to life. And don't forget, if this message inspires you, please like this episode, subscribe to the channel, and share it with a friend who also wants to make English part of their daily life. Because together we grow stronger. Together we build habits that last. Writing is a mirror that shows you how much English you actually know and where you still need to grow. When you take just a few minutes each day to write in English, whether it's a journal entry, a short message to yourself, or even a post online, you are forcing your brain to produce the language. And producing is what makes your English active, alive, and ready to use in real conversations. Imagine this. You sit down with your notebook or open the Notes app on your phone. You write, "Today, I feel happy because the weather is beautiful." Simple, but that one small sentence is already training your brain to connect thoughts and emotions with English words. And here's the secret. The more you write, the easier speaking becomes. Why? Because writing gives you time. Time to think, to choose words, to experiment with grammar. It's like practicing on a safe playground before stepping onto the real stage of conversation. Don't worry about mistakes. In fact, mistakes are gold. They are signals. They show you where your mind is still confused, where you need to pay attention. And every time you correct yourself, even in small ways, you are building stronger, faster connections in your brain. One powerful trick is writing about your day before you sleep. Just 3 sentences. For example, I woke up late, I had coffee with my friend, I watched a movie. So simple, yet over weeks you'll notice patterns, new vocabulary, and smoother grammar flowing into your writing. And if you feel bold, share some of your writing with others. Post a short thought online in English. Leave a comment under a video. You'll be surprised how this little act builds confidence and helps you feel part of a global community of learners. Remember your pen, your keyboard. They are tools. Use them daily, even for 5 minutes, and watch how your speaking, your thinking, and your confidence in English grow together. So please, if this part motivates you, hit like, subscribe, and share it with someone who also wants to make English a natural part of their daily life. Because when you write together, when you share, the habit becomes even stronger. Let me ask you a question. How often do you translate in your head before speaking English? If the answer is always, then that's exactly why speaking feels slow, heavy, and sometimes impossible. The real magic begins when you start thinking directly in English. No translation, no middle step, just thought, English expression. It feels natural, smooth, alive. But how do we do it? Start small. Look around you right now. Say in your mind, "This is my phone. I am sitting on a chair. The window is open." Simple, clear, and direct. Every little sentence builds a stronger bridge in your brain. And here's something powerful. Your brain loves patterns. The more you think short English thoughts during the day, the more automatic it becomes. When you're walking, say in your mind, "I am walking fast." When you're eating, "This food is delicious." When you're tired, "I need to sleep." It's almost like narrating your own life in English. At first, it feels strange. Your brain will try to return to your first language. That's normal. Don't fight it. Just gently bring it back. English, 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 and slowly something amazing happens. One day you realize you just had a full thought in English without even trying. That's the breakthrough moment. I remember one learner told me, the first time I dreamed in English, I woke up shocked. That's how deep thinking in English can go. It moves from practice into your subconscious mind. So make it a habit. 5 minutes a day, talk to yourself in English, out loud if possible, or silently in your head. Describe what you see, what you feel, what you want to do next. These tiny mental exercises build fluency faster than any grammar book ever could. And if this inspired you, give this video a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and share it with a friend who is learning English. Because when you think in English together, it becomes not just practice, but a lifestyle. If there is one secret that almost every fluent English speaker knows, it is this. Listening is not passive. Listening is active. Listening is practice. Listening is training. Imagine this. Every time you hear English, your brain is collecting sounds, rhythms, and patterns. Even when you don't understand every single word, your brain is storing that music of the language. That's why listening every day, even just 15 minutes, changes your fluency more than hours of memorizing grammar rules. I once had a student who told me, "When I listen, I understand nothing. It's too fast." But I told them, don't run away from fast English. Embrace it. Listen again and again. At first, you catch one word. Next time, 3 words. Then suddenly the whole idea. That's how progress feels. It's slow, but very, very real. And here's where shadowing comes in. Shadowing means you don't just listen, you repeat. You hear a sentence and immediately copy it. The same tone, the same rhythm, the same speed. You become like a mirror. It's not just pronunciation practice, it's brain training. It connects your ear, your mouth, and your memory all at once. Start with short clips, maybe one line from a podcast or one scene from a show. Press play, pause, repeat. Don't worry about being perfect. Even if your voice shakes, even if your words are not exact, you are building fluency muscle. Just like exercise, every repetition makes you stronger. And the beautiful part is this. Over time, you start to feel English. You don't just hear it. You feel the rhythm, the melody, the natural flow. Your own speaking becomes smoother, more natural, more confident. So here's my challenge for you today. Listen to one English clip you love, maybe even this podcast, and shadow just 1 minute of it. Do it 3 times. Tomorrow, do it again. If you commit, your speaking will change faster than you ever believed possible. If you found this powerful, don't keep it to yourself. Hit like, subscribe, and share this with your friends who also want to sound natural in English. Because learning together makes the journey more joyful, and every shared practice is a shared victory. Let me ask you something. When you speak your own language, do you only use words? No. You use your hands, your eyes, your smile, your energy. Speaking is never just about vocabulary. It's about emotion. And that's exactly the same with English. If you only focus on words, your voice sounds flat. But when you add emotion, when you allow your body to move, when you let your face express your feeling, suddenly English becomes alive. People don't just hear you, they feel you. Think about it. If you say, "I'm excited," with no energy, no smile, no sparkle in your voice, nobody believes you. But if your body leans forward, your hands open, your eyes shine, people believe every single word. That's the magic of emotion. Here's a practice. Stand in front of a mirror. Say one sentence in English. For example, "I can do this." First, say it flat, no energy. Then say it with your body alive, shoulders back, chin up, smile. Say it like you believe it. I can do this. Feel the difference. That's confidence being born every day. Give yourself permission to act, to exaggerate, to be a little dramatic in English. It might feel strange at first, but trust me, it rewires your brain. It makes English not just a language you study, but a language you live. And remember, confidence is not something you wait for. It's something you create. every time you speak with energy, with emotion, with movement, you are building your confidence muscle. And confidence, my friend, is what transforms learners into speakers. So don't hide your voice. Don't shrink yourself. Step forward. Speak louder. Move freely. Smile wider. That's how English becomes part of you. If this inspired you today, show some love. Hit that like button. Subscribe for more and share this episode with your friends who also want to unlock their real speaking power. Together we rise. Together we speak. Together we shine. Take a deep breath and just think for a moment about everything you've heard today. Daily English habits, small steps, real focus, using your body, your voice, your mind. You now know that learning English isn't about being perfect. It's about being consistent. Imagine yourself 1 month from now, 2 months from now, 6 months from now. If you practice even just a little every single day, you won't be the same person. Your English will sound different. Your confidence will feel stronger. Your opportunities will grow. Because here's the truth. English is not just a language. It is a bridge. A bridge to friendships, to travel, to careers, to dreams you didn't even know were possible. Every word you practice is like a step on that bridge, taking you closer to the life you imagine for yourself. And yes, there will be days you feel tired, days you feel stuck, days you think, maybe I can't do this. But remember this, progress is never a straight line. Every small effort still counts. Even on your hardest days, you are still moving forward. So believe in yourself, trust the process, and most importantly, don't stop. Your English journey is not just about learning words. It's about discovering the power inside you. That power is already there. You just have to use it. And if today's message touched your heart, please don't keep it only for yourself. Share this episode with a friend who needs hope. Give it a like to show your support. Subscribe so you never miss these daily lessons of growth and inspiration. Because together we are building a family of learners who don't give up, who rise higher, and who believe in their own voices. Thank you for being here with me today. Keep practicing, keep shining, and never forget your English voice matters. Until next time, keep going and keep believing.